Hello, everyone, and welcome to the MySpace podcast. I'm your host, Smiley, and today I will be reviewing the book Lawmaker by Susie Tate. This is book 1 of the Aristocrats of London series. So, yeah. And my dog is also here with us, so you will hear her in the background. Let's get this started, shall we? Rating. I give this book an 8 out of 10. I liked it. There were good character choices. But also at the same time, sometimes it felt like what some of the characters didn't completely fit their personality, but at the same time it also did. It was kind of weird. And just in general, romance books, they always got something going on, don't they? Something crazy is bound to happen. Oh, I completely forgot to do this. Okay. POV. Pretty sure it's first person. And it switches between Clara and however he's... Oh my god, and I just don't even know how to say his name. Rafe? Rafe? That just sounds weird. I don't know. I hate names, okay? Even my name is hard to pronounce. Not pronounce, just to say when you're reading it. It's spelled R-A-F-E. Yeah, I was gonna look it up, but I'm already started, so I'm gonna just go. Genre, romance. You're welcome. Palazzo storyline. So, sorry, that was loud in my ear. Clara is a teaching assistant and she specializes in learning disabilities. Ozzy is the main guy's son. I'm not even gonna say his name because I just don't want to get it wrong. He has dyslexia, the kid Ozzy. So Clara tells Ozzy that his brain works differently, and then that's the start of him wanting to know who she is. That's kind of how they meet, why they interact in the first place, you know? So then she ends up working as Ozzy's nanny because the old one was telling Ozzy that he was stupid. So, there's a whole bunch of stuff that leads up to this, you know? But, she then starts working as the nanny. And then she starts living with them because... this is more stuff happening too. Well, she's not particularly safe where her apartment is, where her flat is. And if we're being completely honest, she doesn't feel safe in that place at all. So, of course, gonna end up moving in with him. So, because also, her family is literally watching her every move, and her family ain't nice people. I will talk about them later while I talk about her. So, throughout all this, she is getting Ozzy to open up more and be more confident in his reading. Even though he has dyslexia, she's been teaching him skills to, help him. And then, of course, everything about who she truly is comes out because we all know it is, and she wasn't going to tell this dude. She doesn't tell anybody, really. She wasn't going to tell Rafe or Rafe. If we're thinking about it in an English sense, the E would make the A sound, not the ah sound. So it would be Rafe. Right? Anyways, also before everything came out, they did get together, but she was keeping it a secret because she didn't want her family to know. Because she didn't want her family to use it against, her, him, stuff. I don't know what I'm doing anymore. So anyways, when everything comes out, when the truth about who she really is, because she didn't tell anybody her last name or really her full name. She didn't tell anybody her full name. There's only 2 people who know. He handles it in a horrible way. And then, of course, to make up for it, he has to fight his way back, fight to win her back, but it's not fighting per se, though that may or may not end up happening. There may be some fighting, but This type of fighting to win her back is him having to just learn how to be patient. And then, you know, of course they end up together, but in the end, like, that's gonna happen. I've yet to read a romance book where they don't end up together. Well, actually, technically, if her memory serves me correctly, The Life of Addie LaRue, I don't think they end up together in the end. But I could be wrong, because I read that a while ago. But if anybody wants to read a really good book, read The Life of Addie LaRue. The Secret Life of Addie... Wait, The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue. Hold up. We're searching this up now. Computer. The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue. I love that book. Anyways. Yes, now, let's start with, Clara. This is another English thing. Is it supposed to be Clara? Because it's Clara. Clara. Gotta do it in a British accent. Because they're in London. I'm gonna start being like, okay, be British for a time just to see if you're saying this right. No, I'm kidding. Start off with her. She is super shy. Like, she literally cannot talk to anyone except kids. Like, talking to any adult, she'll stutter and she's like, no. She'll have, like, a panic attack, kind of. Like I said, she stutters, and she's always trying to make herself look smaller. She has PTSD and can't do loud noises and fast movements, and she'll flinch at, like, anything. She's silent and observant, but that's really just because of, you know, how she grew up and what she had to learn to be. She apologizes a lot. Yes, blah, 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 blah. She doesn't like to eat, especially when she doesn't feel safe. Blah, blah, blah. Hold up, I'm trying to figure out what to say because I wrote these things out of order. When she feels safe, or if it's something about somebody with a learning disability, or like about a learning disability at all, she will speak out. Like, those are, like, if she's angry or if she's like learning disability, she's all like, I'm gonna prove you wrong. So that's when she'll get angry and yell, but only when also she has to feel safe to do that. And those times are really only when she's with Rafe. So, yeah. Okay, at the end, after everything happens, she thinks that he is only helping her and doing all these things for her because of the guilt he feels because of what he did to her, which is not true at all. So, basically, since she doesn't feel good enough, honestly, that's kind of her whole thinking half the time. So, anyway, to her family. So, her family is a crime syndicate. It's a whole crime family, like, that's her family. They're the Masons, I believe. It's honestly kind of like the Mafia. They're like the Mafia, honestly. So, her mother, she's completely just checked out because of all the abuse from her husband, Clara's father. She has 3 siblings. They're all boys, 2 older and 1 younger. So, we'll first talk about her dad, though. Clara's dad, he is a horrible man. Like, horrible. He abuses her. He hits her and everything. Yeah. I think this is the eldest. Freddie. I think Freddie's the eldest brother. He is in jail the whole time, so we, like, never meet him. He's only talked about. But he's the rudest and ruthless and gonna be, like, the one who's gonna abuse Clara more. Clara. I keep saying, whatever's the name. Then the other older brother is Ruben. He is, like, ruthless and stuff, he's got that part because, that's how he grew up. But also, he does care about her. He does care about Clara and Zach, so he did try to make their lives not as bad, but he didn't do it as much as he could have, I guess, in a way. But also, like, when you think about it, like, when you grow up in this, you don't particularly feel like you have a choice. and I guess, so that was just kind of, in a way, he also made it so Clara did have, like, the ability to fight back. In a way, like, that's him making it so her life wasn't as bad, showed her that she had a possibility to not have a bad life. And it was Zach too, because Zach is the younger brother. He wants to be a vet. Yeah, but the family hates it when people, like, leave, and she left, even though they all, like, hated her. That was a bad thing. So having her help Zach move away, it's not really working with them, So I'm like doing this all off the back of my head. So, like, they hate how he has an education, because she also has an education. He's way younger than her. But yeah. So then also after all this, he does find support within Rafe's family and all of them. So he gets that support that he needs for his education, that, the people who were supposed to be his family didn't give him that. So Rafe, we'll see if we can get this. Okay. So basically, he's the type of person who gets what he wants. He doesn't ask, he just takes. And he's said this, he's stated this multiple times. He has to learn to be patient, quiet, and calmer with Claire, and that kind of goes against his personality, but he wants to be that person for her. He's very protective. He loves his son, and is honestly very cute with him. He also can allow his feelings to take over him and doesn't think about other factors, like we can tell with what happened when he figured out who she truly was. Also, he's also the ruthless, but he in a different sense than her family. It's different, but the same. But also he'll do it for a good reason, and that's to protect Claire. But also, like, is it ever really a good idea, or is it ever really good to do bad things? Rafe also has a younger sister, Poppy. She is very energetic, and she's an extrovert. And actually, she gets along really well with Clara. So yeah. I'm also pretty sure that the next book in this series is going to be about her. Spoilers. Honestly, there's not a lot to say, because it honestly wouldn't be that surprising. Because romance books are like that. You know what's going to happen. So basically, like, what I can say is when everything was out in the open and he realizes who she really is, he gets really angry, especially, like, when you think about it. She's been helping her son, and so in his mind, she's been lying to him. She's been using, like, him, his son. So, like, of course he's gonna be angry. And then he kind of forgets about everything else because he knows that she's been hurt before, and he expects it's some form of abuse. He knows it's a form of abuse. And he kind of just forgets about that. So when she goes to ask him for help for herself and her brother, he thinks that she's asking him help for her family and pushes her away. So, she has to go back to her family, who aren't good people. And then he really, really regrets that when he figures out everything, when he figures out that she's an informant for the police, and she's been trying to help her family get taken down so that she can get Zach out of there, because she can't leave Zach because she cares about him and feels guilty for not being able to protect him and leaving and stuff. So then also, he's also the one that kind of starts the whole, we're taking the Masons down right at this moment. Like, the police were gonna wait, but he was like, no, you're not waiting. And then when he gets her back, she's all like, I can't stay with him. The only reason why he's helping me and my brother because he feels guilty for pushing me away. But then, of course, they confess their love for each other, and everything goes back to, like, you know, their type of normal, where she's learning to be more open and learning how she doesn't have to hide and stuff. So, yeah. And she's wearing more colors because she doesn't wear colors. Another thing, so it turns out, so this is how, so her father does figure out that she is a snitch, and, you know, in these types of family, snitches will be killed, of course. So there's somebody, like, told him or something, I don't know what, but somebody told him what she did, and yeah. So then he tries to kill her, but then she's all like, no, and she gets her little, like, bravery streak, and she just, like, hits him with a pan. I'm like, oh, go, girl. Like, we're Rapunzeling this stuff now. But also, that's one of the things that's so out of character, because she has these random moments of times when she's just super, like, the opposite of herself. And, like, go, girl, but also, like, this is really weird. But also, I love it, you know? It's like Catch-22. I believe. I don't think it's at all correct in this situation, but yeah. And then also, with this dude getting so angry at her and just automatically going to, she's just like her family, that's kind of like, really? That's just straight where you go, understandable in a sense, because she has been hanging out with his son and lying to all of them, but also, like, you're just gonna, like, completely, like, forget about everything else that you know that somebody's been hurting her, and you're gonna be like, oh, that. And also, he goes, this is his thinking, he's all like, her family will protect her from her abuser. You don't think that abuser is her family, dude? Excuse me? Because he thinks it's, like, some, like, partner or something. He doesn't think, when he learns about her family, he doesn't think, like, oh, this person, like, these people are the ones who are, abusing her. He doesn't think that. I'm like, that's kind of stupid of you. But, you know. So, yeah. Anyways. That's about, oh my god. Sorry, I was just looking at my flowers. Maybe the reason why they're dying is because there's no more water in there. Oops. That's it. I want to start, in these videos, I want to start having this time where I can just, like, complain about my books. So I'll do that in the spoiler section. I may make a whole other section to it, or I may either put it as part of the video, or I may make it a whole other video. I'll figure it out. I'll think about it. I also have to, like, do it some more, and then I'll, like, you know, I'll get to that. But also, it's way easier for me to, like, complain about a book when there's somebody here, but also, like, I will just complain about a book in my head. So honestly, just talking about it out loud to a camera is basically just the same as talking about it to myself, you know, because I'm basically talking to myself, because I am looking at myself half the time in this camera here. So, like that's why I, like, have this, looking this way is where my screen is, looking here, I'm looking at myself talking to this camera, looking here, I'm talking right into the camera, so, you know, and over here is my audio. So that's why I'm, like, in 50 different places half the time. I'm either here. The occasional look, like, oh, that was too loud. Anyways, yeah, that is it. Thank you for listening and watching, and have a good rest of your day, night, week, month, year, life. Thank you, and goodbye.